Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this lecture, we would learn a few data types like list, tuple, sets, and dictionaries. Starting with the what is number Python numbers. Basically, Python numbers are three types. Number one is integer, number two is float, and number three is complex. I already explained int and float in the last lecture. Let's see what is complex. Basically, complex numbers are in the form of a plus ib, where it has a real part and an imaginary part in this. Let's see one of the example writing the three types. Let's create a variable x equal to 4 and y equal to 3 and z equal to 2 plus I 4. Now let's print this type. Now let's copy this and train the VS Code. And run the code. You can see that it's giving an error. We should write the imaginary part 4 before I. And now let's run this. In Python, we can't use I as an imaginary unit. Instead of I, we should use J. And you can and run the code, and you can see the output as types complex. Now let's write the code for type conversion from one type to another type. Uh, let's take one float integer here, and we and create a variable that we can change from one form to another form. Float of let's change float as let's change y as an integer, and let's change x as a complex. And let's print these three variables here. And also print the types. Let's run this code. You can see that they have been changed. And this is how you change one type into another type, and this is called as a typecasting. Now let's move to the another topic called as strings. Strings basically it's a sequence of characters which are enclosed in a double quote or single quotes. I already said in the last lecture about this, but in this lecture, let's take an example string called gesture. Now you can access for any character from this string. Like if you want an element A, you can have it. If you want an element else, you can have it. And this is basically called as an indexing. Let's you have a name. Uh, let's take and string this right. So let's take this and string that we got taken as an example. Now let's know if for every character there is an index value. For J, it starts with J, so its first value is taken as 0, and the second value is taken as 1, and third is taken as 2, and this fourth, the W character is taken as 3, and so on. A is taken as 4, N is taken as 5, T is taken as H, and H is taken as last index. So let's write for every index to be a blue guys. A is taken as 4, N is taken as 5, T is taken as 6, H is taken as 7. Similarly, there is also called as a negative index, but we have to write from the ending to starting. Uh, H is taken as it is a negative index, H is taken as -1, T is taken as -2, and so on and so on up to -8. J is taken as -8. This is known as an indexing values. Now with this you can print the specific character, or you can also print from the range that you want. If you want from the index 1 to index 6, you can. Let's write with an example. Let's take an example. Let's have a string of variable a and string as a b c d e f. And if you want to print an b value, let's print the indexing value. The index value of b is 1. You can print an index of b, but the value is enclosed in the square brackets. As b index is 1, you can print the b. Try this in the VS Code once and run the code. Just a minute. Let's run the code once. You can see that output is given as a B here. If you want an value of C, the index value is 2, and run the code. You can see the output is given as C. If you want G value, you can use the negative index or also positive index. Let's write with the end index once. G is -1 here, and run the code. You can see the output as G. Let's move to the another topic in string called slicing. Basically, slicing is to form indexing. We can use the index values, but in slicing, we can give the output in the range format. You can return a range of characters here. For example, let's take an string A, B, C, D, E, F. If you want to print from B to D or B to E, you can by using the slicing print of if you go in the square bracket. Starting, if you want to start with the element B, the index value is B. If you want to end the value with the E, you should give the index value plus 1, index value of E plus 1, because when you give the index value exact value of E, you cannot print the E here. So let's take what is the index value of E? A is 0, B is 1, C is 2, D is 3, E is 4, E is 5 here, E is 5, so we should take the index value as 6, so you can print the E value here. Let's try the code in VS once. Run the code. You can see that the output is sorry, here in index value of E is 4, so you can use as a 5 and run the code once. You can see that it just prints up to B, C, D, D, E. Now, if you want to print up to the D, you can print what is the index value of D here is 3. So 3 plus 1 is 4. Now print this. So you can see the output as a B, C, D here. Now if you want to jump, you want to print A here. So it starts with 0, and if you want to end with the E, you can write up to 5. And if you want to jump here, if you want to print A and you want to jump to the C, you can use A plus 2. If you jump, if you write 2, it goes to the C. A and jumps 2 times. B to B and C. Stops at the C and approves the C. And again, it jumps to the two values. Jumps to the D and jumps to the E. So any value you see here, so up to you can print up to each. You can see that output as ACE. Now let's go to the another topic. Modifying the strings. Modify the strings. Here, first one is uppercase. Here, uppercase is used to capitalize every character in the string. For example, let's take an variable A and write Raj. And if you use an upper function, print, let's print directly A dot upper. Let's try this code in this. Run the code. You can see that every character is capitalized here. Let's go to the another method, the lowercase. As it's a lowercase, every capital letter becomes a small letter in this case. Let's write the same code here, but use lower instead of upper. Let's try this in a VS Code. Let's just let's try this thing in a VS Code once. Remove upper and, and run the code. You can see that capital J is also become the small j here. Let's move to the another thing called removing white spaces. Removing the white spaces. White spaces means just we can use strip here, strip function, so that we can remove the white spaces at the beginning and the ending of the string. For example, let's take a variable, let's say, and create a string here. Let's use some white spaces here and write anything we want and remove, give some white space at the end. And now let's print this by using a strip function and run the code once in the VS. Run the code. You can see that in the output the white space are not visible. Now let's move to the another thing called replacing string. Replace string. Basically, we can replace the character with another character here. Let's take an example. Let's take question and if you want to replace J with H, you can replace it. Replace. Let's write uh, J here. That because it should be replaced by H and write replace it character here. And let's try this in VS once. And run the code. You can see that here J is replaced by H. Let's move to the another method called capitalize function here. Let's because basically it capitalize the first character in the string. Let's write the example converts the first character to uppercase. Let's try with the example. So take an string, small, and print. And let's check this code in the VS Code and run the code. Sorry, I did a mistake here. on the code. You can see the output small j is becomes the upper here. Now let's see one more thing called is alpha function. Basically, it returns true if if the characters are characters are alphabets there. Characters are alphabets. Let's try this thing one once. Let's take and the print. Let's run the code once. Let's run the code once. Here. You can see that it's giving us a true because every digit is there is alphabet. Let's have one here and run the code once. Now it's giving output as a false because you can see that you have one here because it's not a alphabet, it's a digit. Now let's see one more called is digit. It's a digit. It gives true when gives true when every character is a digit. Let's try with an example in VS Code once. So here I gave all the digits here and is digit. Now you can see that output here is true. And if you give any alphabet in the code, like A, B, A, D, S, you can see that false because here A, D, and S are the alphabets, are they not the digits. There is also a function called alpha num, means album. It returns true when the characters are digits and numbers. Let's try in the base code once. Is album. on the code ones, you can see that it's giving it 2 because average it is in the combination of the alphabet and numbers only. If you use any special symbols here, uh, let's see the output once. You can see it's giving the false as an output because here at the rate, hash, and dollar they are the symbols, not an alphabet or a digit. There is few functions. There are also few functions like is lower. It gives true when every character in the string is in lowercase. And there is also one more function called eSupper. It returns the true when every character in the string is in uppercase. Let's see an example in the VS Code ones. Let's take an let's take with first example with a lowercase. This one in the lowercase and is word and run the code once. You can see the output is given as a true because every character is in the lowercase. Let's build a capital N here and run the code once. You can see the output as false because N is in the uppercase here. Let's use uppercase here, is upper, and run the code once. You can see that here output is given as a true because here every element is in the uppercase. Let's take A as smaller one and run code. You can see that output is given as a false because A is in the lowercase here. Let's see few things together. There is there is one more thing called a stack case. Basically, stack case is like it returns the string with lower characters as upper characters and upper characters as lower characters. Let's take an example in the VS Code. Let's take some random numbers and let's take some random capitals and use a stack case function here and run the code. You can see that the lower characters become uppercase letters and uppercase letters become a lowercase letters. This is the use of swap case. Here lowercase becomes upper case and vice versa. There are n number of methods which we can discuss, but it will be they take more time. So you can see in the W3 schools once you can reach out there and check the n number of methods in the strings. Now let's move to the another topic called lists. Lists are used to store multiple values in a single variable. Lists are used to store multiple values in a single variable. Basically, lists are inclusive with the square brackets. The square brackets. Let's write some simple syntax with this. Let's create a variable x. X equal to let's write multiple values and they're called as items. Let's write some fruit names and let's print this. And copy and let's try in the VS Code. And run the code. You can see the output is given as apple, cherry, and banana. And this is how you store an items in the list. Now let's talk about list items. These, and you can see that here apple, banana, cherry are called as a list items. Basically, list items are ordered and they are mutable and they also allow the duplicates. Let's check what is meant by ordered. When you create a list and give an item, it has specific meaning and it is ordered. And when you add a new item into the created list, and it will visible at the ending of the list. When you add a new item, and it will be replaced. It will be placed at end of the list. What is meant by mutable here? Basically, mutable means that items can be changed in the list. We can add or we can replace, and also we can remove the items in the list. And let's move to the following the duplicates. What is meant by allowing duplicates? Let's understand with this example. Let's create an variable and list and write the same fruit name. Cherry, and let's write the same names. Apple, banana, cherry. These are known as duplicates because you already defined the apple, banana, cherry here. And again, you were given items apple, banana, cherry. But in list, you can it allows the duplicates. Let's print this. Let's try in the VS Code with the same question. And run the code. And you can see the outputs. It also prints the second time as apple, banana, cherry. And this is known as allowing the duplicates. Now let's move to the another topic called list length. Basically, list length determines how many values are in the how many items are in the list. It determines number of basically it uses an length function. See an example for this. Let's create an list Sure, and let's print this length. Let's try the same code in an VS Code and run this. You can clearly see that the output is 3 and number of items are 3 apple, banana, cherry. Next, we can store any data type. We can store any data type and it can also contain the different data type in a same list. For example, creating a list, it can contain a string or it might contain an integer or it might contain a boolean. It may also contain a float and etc. When you print an list type, let's try to print a type for its variable a. Let's try the code and see what is the output. And run the code. You can see that the data type is given as a class list. Now let's see one more thing called list conduct constructor. Basically, list conduct constructor used to build and list. For example, let's create a variable list and write an items in this. Let's try the code once and print this. Let's write the code NVS and run the code. You can see that output is given in the list form. Let's move to the another topic called how to access the items in the list. Let's know how to access the item. Basically, we can access the list items by using the indexing. And access the item by using indexing. For example, you have an array. For example, you have a list. Let's say a equal to a b in. Now let's try here. Here a is taken as a 0. It is taken as a 0. While b is taken as a 1. It is taken as a 1. And it is taken as a 2. And d as a third. And it is as a 4. While you reverse this, e is taken as a -1. And this as a -2. And this c as a -3. And b as a -4. And a as a -5. Now let's try to print these items line by line. Let's take a list here. We have already a list A equal to A, B, C, D, E. And let's try to print and digit B. Print A of 1 because I already explained the indexing values. B is taken as a 1 or minus 4. Similarly, you can print A of 0, A of 1, 2, 3, and so on. Let's try a similar code in VS. Let's print all items. As the number of items left by the last index value will be n minus 1. So minus 1 last value is 4. And let's run this. You can see the output here as A, B, C, D in different, not as a list. Now we can also write the same thing with using the negative indexes, uh, like minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 3, minus 4, and the starting value is minus 5, and run the code. You can see that output as EDCV as in the reverse order. Now let's talk about the range of the indexes. Range of indexes. Basically, range of indexes means you can specify the range of the list. Wait, you want to start from the B or you want to start from the C, or you want to end with a D or you want to end with a E. You can do this with a range of indexes. Let's try with an example. You can specify the starting index, specify where to start, and where to end. Let's try with the example. Let's create an list like B, C, D, E, and F. And if you want to print from B to E, I always say I index B as a 1 and E as a 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4, F as a 5. So if you want to print from B to E, let's print from B to E. of B index is 2, sorry, B index is 1, and the E index is 4. Let's try the same code in here and run the code. You can see that only B seed is up here. While using the range of the index, you cannot print the fourth fourth index here. As it is E, you cannot print the fourth index. Now, if you want to print up to the E, you should add one more. If you, as it is a fourth index, you want to write the 5. Now you can see the output as B, C, D, and E. If you want to print the F here and it is a ending value, you can see the F index is A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. As it is a fifth index, you should you should use as 6 if you want to print an F. You can see the output as A, B, C, D, E, F. If you want to jump here, you can use here the first index is 1 and the sixth in there is no sixth index, but if you want to end the value with F, you want to use the 6, so you use it the 6 here. If you want to jump here, I would like to jump at 2 here, 2 values. So when I print the B and you jump this one and you print the D, again I jump the E and you print the F here. You can see the output as B, D, F, jumping the value from B to D and D to F. If you give a value of 3 here, it will jump twice here. It will jump C, D, and prints the E. And you can see the output here, B and E. What if you print the 1 here? You cannot jump anything. It gives an output of B, C, D, E, F. Oh, let's move to the other topic, how to change the items in the list. Let's know how to change the list value. As I already said, the list is a mutable type. You can change any item in the list. Uh, let's know by using the example here. Let's create a list. You can change the item value by using the indexes. We can change the item value by using the index. Let's see by using the example. Let's create A, B, C, and if you want to change a C value as a G, you can use that. Let's say A of here the value of the index value of C is 2. A of 2A is equal to G, and now print this. And let's try the code in VS and run the code. You can see that the value of C is changed as a G. If you want to change the value of D, you can, the index value of the D as 3. And if you want to change it as anything and run the code, you can see that the value is changed as the value of D is changed as a just 1. Now let's see the topic changing the values in the range of change a range of item value. You can also change the items in the following range. Like if you want to change from B to C, you can change it. Let's try with an example. Let's copy the same thing. Paste here. And if you want to change, let's have few more items here. Let's you want to change from B to D, item from B to D. You can change it by using the index value again. From what is the starting index? It is B, so you want to change from B to 3, right? So the starting index is 1, and ending index here is D, and the value is 3. If you write 3, you cannot change the value of D. So if you, the index, we should do the index value plus 1. So you want to write the 4 and write the names item values inside this. If you want to change the value of B as gas and value of C as G, value of D as L, and try to print this. Let's try the code in VS. Let's try the code in VS and run the code. You can see that value of B is changed as gas and value of C as G and value of D as L. And let's try to do another topic, adding the items in the list. how to add items in the music. The first method is to use the append. First method is append the item. Mm, Basically, it is used to add the value by using the append method. Let's try the using with an example. If you remember, when we use an append method, the values will be at the end. The values are added at the end. Now let's try to append the values. If we want an add an element E and parentheses, and let's try this in VS Code and run the code. You can see that E values added at the end. Now let's move to the another method called insert. Insert. Basically, insert method is used to add the item at a specific index. We can add the items in a specific index. Like, for example, let's take a same list and try to add the element at the index 1. So at the B position, you can see the adding value a dot insert. So first you should write the index value. I should add that the B position. So the index value of B is 1. So I'm adding at the 1, and we want to add the value E and print the list. Let's write that this thing in the VS Code and run the code. You can see that he's added the index 1 here. Let's see the another method called extend the method. Basically, basically, extend method is used to add another list. It is used to add the two lists as a single. Let's take an example. Let's create a two list here, and let's create one more list. Let's take an variable x and y because we get confused here because we already used a and b. Let's try to add this to list as a single one. Let's take x dot extend and write the second list that you want to add with the first x and print the x and try this code in VS. And then the code, you can see the output as A, B, C, D, E, F. When we have the two lists, you can see every element here A, B, C, and second is as D, E, F. We add the both two lists and create a single list here. Um, let's move to other topic to know how to remove the items in the list. Now how to remove the items in the list. By first method is by using the remove function, remove method. If you want to remove any specific item from the list, you can use the remove method here. Let's use with an example. Let's create the list. Now, if you want to remove the element B, you can remove this. A dot remove element B. As it in the string, we should use the same string. Now print the A. Now let's try this thing in the VS Code and run the code. You can see that B is removed from the list here. If you want to remove the element C, just replace B with the C and run the code. You can see that the item C is removed from the list. And let's move to the another method called pop. I mean, you can remove the element by using the specific index. We can pop. Uh, we can remove the element by using index with an pop function. Let's create a list one more time. A, B, D. And let's you want to remove an element C, then the index value of C is 2. Let's simply write a dot pop, write the index value of C, it is 2. So write 2 and the print the list. And let's run the code MBS. Run the code. You can see that C item is removed from the list. Now let's move to the another method called delete method. Delete method also used to remove an item from a specific index, but we use the del function here. We can remove item from specific index. We use del function here. Let's see with an example. Let's create a list. Sorry, del is not a function, it's a keyword. And del of index if you want to delete an C value. Okay, let's delete an D value. The index value is 3. And let's print the list here. And let's write this in the VS Code. and run the code. You can see that here d value is removed from the list. Let's see one more method called clear. Basically, clear method is used to clear delete every item from the list. Used to remove every item. Let's create a variable. A. Let's create one more item B, and let's just delete every. If you want to delete every element, you can use the clear function here, and just print the list. And let's just run the code and run the code. You can see that it gives an empty list as an output. Let's use some of the function which is used in the list. Uh, the sort function. Basically, sorting means getting an order in the list. So if you want to sort an list of 1, 2, 3, so let's say it in a random way. 3, 3, 5, 4, 6, 1, 2, etc. If you want to get an order in the ascending order, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you can use the sort function by creating sort and print A. Just copy this and find the wave code and run the code. You can see the output as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it is in the ascending order. If you want to get in the descending order, there is also a method you can use by the Boolean function. Just write reverse equal to true and run the code. So you can see that the output is given in the descending order. If you want to, uh, you can have it out. It is an integer. You can sort the elements. We can also sort the elements for the strings, but it's taken in the alphabetical order. Now, if you want to reverse the items but not sort the items, you can use the reverse function here. Run the code once. You can see that it given us 2, 1, 6, 4, 5, 3. Just uh reverse the list, and let's If you want to copy a list, if you want to copy a list, you can copy the copying the list. We can use the copy function here. For example, let's take A, B, C. And if you want exact list, but you want to get in the another variable, you can be if you want to get the same list, A B equal to A dot copy function, and just print B list B here. And let's try this thing and this and run the code. Now you can see the output is ABC when you print the B list here. And there is also another way by using the slicing. Just A, so it takes that as 0 and last it. When you run the code, you can see that just a minute, I didn't print this. Print the B here and run the code once. You can see that the output is given as ABC again. This is also another method to copy the list. Now let's move to the another topic called tuples. Basically, tuples is similar to the list. It's also stored the same as a list. It is similar to a list. It can store multiple multiple values in a single variable. And it is enclosed with not a square brackets. It is enclosed with curved brackets. The main difference in the list and tuple is in the items because in tuples we cannot change the value of an item. The main difference uh, in list and tuple is mutability. Uh, in tuple we cannot change the value here. Immutable means it is unchangeable. If you want to modify the tuple, we should change the tuple into the list one. For if we want to modify the tuple, we should change tuple to list. Let's see one small problem here. First, let's create a tuple one, and now let's print the tuple and print its type also. Let's try to print this in our VS Code and run the code. You can see output as here. Its data type is tuple and output is given as like this. Let's see an example to by using the converting a tuple to the list. Example to convert tuple to list. Let's take the same thing here right here and now let's take another variable b and so that we can convert the tuple list of a and try to print this and try to print the type also. Let's try this in the VS Code once. Run the code. You can clearly see that the tuple is changed to the list and the data type is also changed to the list. Let's see how do you add an element items in the tuple. Take the same example here. As I say, it is an immutable. We cannot add or change the tuple. So we want to change the tuple into the list once, and we can change the list because list is a mutable type. So now let's append some values because as I said in the list concept, we can use append to add the items. Let's take b dot append, take any value to add. When you use an add, make sure that it will add at the end of the list. After adding the E, you can print the B, but it will give as a list. But we want in the form of tuple. Again, we want to change the list into tuple now. So again, change list as a tuple. Again, A equal to list of B. Sorry, tuple of B. B and try to print A and print its data type also. Let's try this in the VS Code once. You can see that E is added here and the data type is tuple. I will explain one more time about this code. When you want to add a element in the tuple, we cannot because it's an immutable. So we can change the tuple into the list once, so we can add the element because list is an immutable type. We can change the values, or we can also add the values. So first we changed the tuple into the list here, and we added the element. After the adding the element, we again change the list into the tuple, and we can print the tuple here. Now let's try to remove the elements from the tuple. You can use the same method as we used it in the list, and the same method as we add in the tuple. First, we want to uh, change the tuple to the list and up, remove the item, change append as remove, and remove the item that you want from the tuple list. If you want to delete an item P, and after that we should change a list to the tuple again and print the tuple. Let's try this code in the VS first and try to print this. We can see that here the element P is removed and the data type is given as a tuple. And we can also use the del function, sorry, del keyword here. We can use del keyword to remove the elements from the tuple. For this, we no need to change the tuple to the list. Let's try with an example here. When you use a del function, we cannot it give an error because there is none of the elements are existing that. If you want, you can check once. Get a print a. Let's try to print this. Here's code. And run the code. can see that it's giving an error because A is not defined here. After deleting the A, we cannot form any tuple here. Now let's move to the another topic called how to access the tuples here. Let's see about the tuple items here. Basically, tuple items are ordered uh, ordered and they are unchangeable and it is immutable and it allows the duplicate values as same as list. Now let's move to the another topic called tuple length. It is similar to the list. We can use the LE and a function here to calculate the length. Here we can know the number of items present in the tuple. Let's take an example. We can count the number of items present in tuple. Let's take an example here. Let's make an tuple. Now let's try to calculate the length of this tuple. But really, uh, hey, let's try this in the obvious code ones. Run the code. We can see that the output is given as 4 because number of items present in the tuple here is 4. There are A, B, C, and D. Now let's move to the another topic where most of controls here because about the tuple, creating a tuple with one item. Remember that when you create a tuple with an one item, there should be comma after giving the one item in the tuple. Without that, it's given error. Let's take an example. Let's say equal to A and B equal to A. Let's print A here. Let's print You make certain kind of VS Code once that you get clarity about the tuple. And now run the code. We can see that the output is not given as a tuple when you not given in comma here. It's gave as a string. When you get a comma, you can see that the output is given as in the form of tuple. So don't make mistakes here when you use only one item in the tuple. Uh, now tuple data type. Tuple can take any data type, not in tuple. Tuple items can be any data type. In a tuple, you can store any kind of data type in a single tuple. Tuple can contain any data type. And as it is similar to the item, the only change it is here, it's a mutable type. Now next move to the another topic on how to access the tuples. How to access the tuple items. It is similar to the list, so we can use the indexing here also. Uh, it we use index values to access the tuple items. Let's take an example and access the element whatever you want. Let's say we want element B. I already explained A is taken, A value is taken, index value is taken as 0, B is 1, C is 2, D is 3, E is 4. That you want C value and C index value is here as 2. So A you can get the value here. And then the cool ones, you can see the output A here is C. Let's print one more thing. Let's print every element here we can 0 to the last element. The last index value here is 4. So we can print up to the 4 and run the 4. You can see that the output is given as A, B, C, D, E. Let's take try to give another index of 5. Let's see what it gives. It gives an error because index 5 is not existed here. We can also use negative index here. E is taken as -1. From the end, we should take -1, -2, -3, and up to the starting. Here, the element -1. Let's build from using the negative indexes and run the code. You can see the output here. It's your EDCBA. This is how you access the tuple items. Now let's move into the another topic, range of the indexes. Range of indexes. You can print the value of tuple items by giving the range. Like if you want from B to D, you can give by indexing values. It is similar to the tuples, so that I can say that you can do it. Let's try one code if you want. Let's take let's directly train the VS Code. If you want from B to D, you know that the range is given from B. B is the starting element, so we should give 1, and the last element that we want is D. So the index value plus 1 should be here. So what is the index value here is 3, so it should be 4, and run the code. You can see that the output is given as BCD. Now let's move to the another topic called unpacking tuples. Basically, when we create a tuple, we do the items. It is called as a packing. When we create, we give you items. This is called as packing of packing it up. In Python, we have also unpacking of tuple, which we extract the values back into variables. is called as an unpacking. Let's try with an example. When you create a tuple A, B, C. Now you create an out values. Variables like green, J, K equal to A. It takes as print A print G. Here G is a use and value of A, and J is the value of B, and K is the taken as value of C. Let's try this in VS Code ones. And run the code. You can see that the output is given as A, B, and C. Now I would like to explain operators. They are that number one operator is identity operator. Basically, identity operator is used to compare the two variables. Used to compare. It is similar to the comparison operator, but in identity operator, it also checks whether they are located in the same memory or not. For example, let's take a list A, B, C. Now let's get one more list with the same A, B, and C. When you compare this with using the identity operator, it gives as output as true. Let's check it. That is B. Let's also print A equal to B. You can see that it will give the same output, but it checks whether they're both located in the memory location or not. On the code, you can see that the output is giving us a false here because they are not located in the same location memory point because they are created by different variables. Let's try to know one more operator called as a membership operator. Uh, membership operator, the sequence is in the present in the object or not. We use this both syntax here. Let's take an example here. A equal to let's check that C is present in the given variable or not and given list or not. C is C in A. Let's try this in our base code and run the code. You can see that the output is given as true because C is present in the A. Let's try E here once and run the code. You can see that the output is given as false because here we can clearly see that E is not present in the given list. Now let's move to the another topic called sets. Basically, set is also a store items in a single variable. Store store items, but but it is unordered, immutable. Immutable means that we cannot change the items, and it is unindexed. We cannot also use the index here. Basically, sets is enclosed with the curly brackets. Now let's create a simple example to create the set. Let's create an variable A and given items ABC. And now let's print this. Let's try this in the VS Code and print its data type also. Let's try to run the code. You can see that at the first time I run the code, it given as a 3AC. Again, when I run the code, it gave us a CAB. It is because of unordered. Let's run one more time. Now see, you can see that now it gave ABC. It's because it is unordered. Now let's go to the set items. Basically, set items are also unordered, and it is immutable, which means the items cannot be changed, and changeable. And it doesn't allow the duplicate values. And duplicate values are not allowed. Let's see with an example how duplicate values are not allowed. Take an example. Take and create a variable and create a set, and that elements can be A, B. Again, let's items create the items ABC again. Now, now print the tuple ones. Now try to write the code and run the code now. You can see that it gave an output of ACB, but not again the ABC is not allowed because they are the duplicate values. They are again created. They are not allowed this kind of duplicate values. But list and tuple are allowed to give the output the duplicate value. Now, similar to the list and tuple, we can also check the length of the tuple. Let's directly print the length of the tuple. Print len of a. Let's try this in the VS Code once. Let's try this. You can see that output here is 3. because the only values are here is A, B, C. They do not count A, B, C again because they are the duplicate values. Uh, Set items can be any data type. Let's try to let's learn how to access the items. I already said that we cannot use the indexes here, but we can use indexes in list and tuple, but we cannot use it in the sets. Instead of indexing, we can use the for loop in sets. Let's use the for loop. I will discuss for loop in the future topic. Let's create an list here. I'll simply explain the for loop that for loop is an thing that it runs the code until given condition is going to the be true. Let's for loop here for I in A. I already said that indentation matters here because it's an block of code here. And, and this whole code is belongs to a block of code. These two are in the same code block. Let's try this in the VS Code one. So I should print A here, print I. You can see that the output is A, B, C, A, C, B. I'll explain you how the for loop works here. When I said for I in A, when I is in the A, it will print the element. Because let's take elements here. I is A, then it prints A here. If I in A, if I is an B, it will belongs to an A, and it will again print the B. If I is C, C is in A, so that it will print the C also. Is how an upper loop works. I will explain you deeply in the for loop lecture. Uh, there is one more important point is that once a set is created, we cannot change the val item set here. But we can add the items in the set. Let's see how do we add an element here. Now let's see how do we add an element in the tuple. So, add the item to the tuple. I already said that we cannot change the items after creating the tuple, but we can add the items in the tuple. We can use the add method here. Let's see by taking an example here. Take an set A, B, and C. Now let's add an element D here. Now print the set A. Now let's see in the VS Code. And now run the code. Sorry, it's A. And now run the code. Now you can see that here D element is added. Uh, now let's add two sets. Adding the two sets. Not only sets. Instead of sets, you can also use the list tuple and dictionary also by using the second list. Let's create a tuple A and C. Let's create one more set. It, the second set can be the list tuple dictionary anything, but we can it can be done by the set. Now we use the update function for adding the two sets, or it may, one set one list or one set one tuple. A dot update D print A. Let's try this in the VS Code. Run the code. So here there is a spelling mistake. And now run the code. You can see that the two tuples are added. The two sets are added. Uh, it can be, I said that it can be the least tuple. So let's check whether it's working for list tuple or not. Enclose it with bracket. It is a list now. So let's try this. I run this, so there is an output of adding the two lists again. Let's see if it will work for tuple or not. Let's see for tuple. And now run this. Again, you can see the output here. Just again run this. Now let's move to the another topic called removing the items from the list sets. Removing the items from the set. To remove the items from the set, we use two functions here. One is remove, and second one is the discard. Now let's try it with an example. Uh, let's want to remove the C here. So just print the set. Try in the VS Code. Just now run the code. You can see that C element, C item is removed. Now we can use discard function also here. And now run this. You can see that again your C element is removed. There is another method called pop. Basically, in a since pop function removes an random item, it removes an random item. Okay, let's try this in the VS Code and run the code. And it shows the removed item, not the tuple. It only shows the remove item. Here the value C is removed. If you pop the one more time, let's see which item is removed. Here now A item is removed. It removes a random item in the set. Now let's see one more thing. Number fourth is clear function. Basically, clear function removes the entire item in the set, every item in the set. Let's it removes uh, every item in the set. Let's see in the VS Code one using the same problem. A dot clear and run the code. You can see that the output is none because there is no items present in the set. Now let's use one more thing is del keyword. When you use the del keyword, it deletes the tuple. Sorry, it deletes the set. It uh, it deletes the set. Let's try in the VS Code once. As it is a function, as it is a keyword, it is not a function. No, there is a and print a. And now run the code. You can see that it is not printing because a set is deleted here. It is not a there is not a function here. It is a keyword. Now let's move to the topic called dictionary. Basically, dictionaries are used to store the data in a key value base. It is used to store the data in a key value base. Let's take with an example of A equal to uh, let's take any car company about the car. Let's talk about this brand first. Brand. Let's speak about the whole company. Let's talk about the model. Key values. It should not be equal to, it should be like this. The key value is in the form of like the model is hypersport, and here is the 14. This is how you create a dictionary. Basically, dictionaries are ordered, its items are it is mutable, and it do not allow the duplicates also. Let's try to print this dictionary in our VS Code. Sorry, it should not be equal to print A and on the code. You can see the output here is given as in the form of key value phrase here. Now let's talk about the dictionary items. I already said that the dictionary items are mutable and ordered and do not allow the duplicates here. And we can print the length function also here. We can use length function in the dictionary, like using the VS Code directly. Print length of A and it tells there is our number of items present in the dictionary. So the number of items here is 3, so it gave an output of 3. Don't calculate is a brand as a one item and code as a one item. Its key value pair is equal to a one item. Brand and code is equal to a one item, so it gave an output of 3 here. In dictionary items can be of any data type. Items can be of any data type. It can be list of also. Let's try to print the type of the data type. You can see that the data type is class right here. Now let's see how to access the items from the dictionary. How to access dictionary items. We cannot use the index directly here. We can use the key name here. Let's create an dictionary. This is our dictionary now. Uh, when you want to access a model, we use instead of index value, we use the key name. If we want a model, we can add the model, which are enclosed in double quotes. Let's try to print this in VS Code once. Let's simply change here is a of model and run the code. Sorry, it should be small. You can see that the output when we give given model, it's given output as echoes code because the value is echoes code for the key model. You can also use the get function here, but it gives the same thing. But get is used as a function here. A dot get model, but the output will be the same. You can see the output is echoes code. Let's try to get the key names. How will we get the key names here? How to get the key name? Simple. We should use the key function here. Let's take a variable a. Let's take any some random as dictionary variable as our dictionary is a. So let's take x equal to a dot p p and print the x. So you can get all the key values. Let's print it in the VS Code. And now run the code. Sorry, it should be the keys here, not a key. Now run the code. Now you can see that dictionary keys are brand model here. Similarly, as we get the keys, we can use the values keyword so we can get the values. Let's see in the VS Code directly. Change the keys as a values here, and now run the code. You can see the dictionary values of code equals code and 2014. You can see that values here are code equals code and of 2014. There is also an other method called items. In these items, we can get the both the keys and values in the same thing. When you run this, you will get an output that brand is a key and code is a value, and model is key and echo spot is another value. And here is an key and 2014 is an value of the year key. So let's see how to change the values here. How to change the values. The first method is we can use the we can use directly with the key names. Let's see with an example. Let's let's take an dictionary here, and if we want to change an year here, we can take the year keyword, key key name year, variable name, and key name. And if you want to change to an year of 2020 and a printing. Now let's try this in the VS Code once. And now run the code. So the year should be enclosed with the double quotes. And now run this. You can see that year is changed to 2020. If you want to change the model also, so let's change to Mustang. And let's run the code. So it should be enclosed in the double quote because it's in string. Now run the code. You can see the output that the model also changed to the Mustang. This is how you change the items. There is also another method by using the update keyword. We can also use the update keyword. We can also use update you update function, not in keyword, where we use key name to change the value. Let's take the same dictionary. Let's try this with using the update keyword, update function, sorry, update function. But in update function, but we should use the key value pair again in this. If we want to change the year, to 2020. Now let's run this code in various programs. Now run this. Just there is something error in it. Try to clear this and now run the code one more time. Sorry guys, I forgot to explain to this. Now run the code. Now you can see that here is changed to 2020. Now let's go to the another topic called how to add an items. How to add an items. First of all, we can use the key again into add the function. Similarly, use the key name. If we want to add the color, is white. You can add it. Sorry, equal to white, and now print it. Okay, now run the code. You can see that the color is added here. Now there is another method similar to that how do we change the items. Say there is a same method we use the update function here. Similarly, we use the update function a dot update use key value pair here color white and now let's run this in a VS Code. Sorry, we have to use equal to sign. Now run this and we can see that color is changed to white again. Now let's move to the another topic, how to remove dictionary. How to remove dictionary items. First function is about the pop method. We use a keyword here so that we can uh, remove the specific key value pair. Let's create an dictionary. Let's have the same dictionary again. And just use the pop function. If you want to remove the model, just add the key name and print it. Now let's try in the VS Code once. And now run the code. You can see the output. The model is being removed. See the differences between the list, tuple, and set and dictionary. The first thing of definition, the list of the ordered collection, and tuple is also an ordered collection. But set is an unordered collection. In dictionary, we use a collection of key value pairs. Coming to the mutability, this is a mutable type because we cannot change the values, and tuples is an immutable. We cannot change the items. Set is a mutable. Dictionary is also immutable. And coming to the allowing of duplicates, this tuple allows the duplicates, but set cannot allow the duplicates. In dictionary, keys cannot be duplicated, but values can be duplicated. Now coming to the representation, lists are enclosed with the square brackets. Tuples are enclosed in the round brackets. Now coming to sets, sets are enclosed in the curly braces, and dictionary is also represented in the curly braces, but it is in the key value pair, like now coming to the about the indexing. Lists tuples can allow the indexing, but set and dictionary don't allow the index. Uh, that's it for today, guys. Let's see in the